The wrought iron gate stands before Debbie, a silent guardian to the mysterious secrets that lie beyond. The morning sun struggles to penetrate the thick canopy of ancient trees surrounding the estate, casting long shadows that dance across the overgrown lawn. Debbie, 16, stands on the threshold, her gaze fixed upon the foreboding structure that looms ahead. She hesitates, her heart pounding in rhythm with the ominous stillness around her. The wrought iron gate, rusty with age, groans as if whispering tales of the past. Debbie's reluctance is palpable, her youthful curiosity tempered by an unspoken fear that clings to the air. Troy stands with his brother, David, on the sidewalk, a safe distance from the house. He motions for her to go inside, urging her forward with subtle gestures. Their presence adds an unsettling layer to the already eerie atmosphere. The shadows seem to play tricks on the edges of Debbie's vision, hinting at a reality beyond the tangible. Debbie rolls her eyes, looks back at the house, sighs. She opens the gate, steps through onto the lawn. The wrought iron gate clangs shut behind her, sealing her fate in the embrace of the mysterious house. As the echoes of the closing gate fade away, the house, weathered by time and neglect, exudes a sense of ancient mystery. As Debbie takes her first hesitant steps onto the lawn, the grass crunches beneath her feet, protesting the intrusion. The old mansion, adorned with faded grandeur, gazes down at her with windows like vacant eyes. Debbie reaches the front door, a relic of a forgotten era. She hesitates, her hand hovering over the aged doorknob. The air is thick with anticipation, and a sense of foreboding clings to her like a shroud. The house seems to breathe, waiting to reveal the secrets buried within its walls. With a deep breath, Debbie pushes the door open, and the ancient hinges protest with a low groan. The darkness within beckons, swallowing her figure as she steps into the abyss. The entrance engulfs her, leaving only a lingering silhouette against the backdrop of the forgotten mansion. The front door slams shut, trapping her inside. Debbie panics as she frantically twists, turns, and pulls at the doorknob. Debbie huffs with annoyance, still determined to explore, makes her way to the stairs. As she ascends the stairs, mysterious noises follow her every move. The silence intensifies, broken only by the haunting creaks of the floorboards beneath Debbie's pensive footsteps. Each step feels like an echo through the corridors of time, reverberating with the memories of a bygone era. The dust hangs in the air, caught in the sunbeams that filter through cracks in the decaying facade. Debbie, fueled by an unrelenting determination to unravel the mysteries lingering in the air, ascends the creaking stairs to the upstairs hallway. The atmosphere becomes oppressively heavy with each step, as if the very air resents her intrusion. Mysterious whispers, almost imperceptible, cling to the walls, following her ascent like spectral echoes. The old wooden steps groan beneath her weight, protesting against the disruption of the stillness that once ruled the upper floor. Shadows dance on the walls, seemingly alive with secrets and long-forgotten tales. Debbie's senses heighten, her heartbeat echoing in her ears as the air becomes charged with an unsettling tension. As she reaches the top of the staircase, the mysterious noises intensify, taking on an ethereal quality that sends shivers down her spine. The hallway stretches before her like a corridor of the unknown, each door a potential gateway to the supernatural. Determination flickers in Debbie's eyes, a flame against the encroaching darkness. With sudden urgency, she propels herself forward, a sprint fueled by a mix of curiosity and trepidation. The very fabric of the hallway seems to resist her advance, the air thickening as if trying to hold her back. The ominous symphony of unexplained sounds crescendos with every step she takes. Reaching the room at the end of the hall, Debbie's breaths come in quick bursts. The door looms before her like a portal into the unknown. In an unexpected burst, the door slams open against the wall, the sound echoing through the empty space like a gunshot. Startled, Debbie enters, her movements swift and determined. As the door slams shut behind her, sealing her in the room, the abrupt silence is deafening. Debbie stands alone in the dimly lit space, her senses on high alert. The room feels pregnant with the weight of unseen eyes, and shadows play tricks on her perception. Seeking refuge, Debbie instinctively moves to the small space between the bed and the wall. It's a tight, confined space, amplifying the sense of isolation. Her breathing, once hurried, slows to a cautious hush as she hides, feeling the coolness of the wall against her back. Debbie raises her head cautiously, her ears strained for any hint of sound. The room, now shrouded in an eerie silence, seems to hold its breath along with her. The oppressive stillness heightens the tension, creating a palpable sense of anticipation. In the quiet cocoon of her hiding spot, Debbie listens intently, her senses attuned to the slightest disturbance. Silence hangs in the air like a heavy veil, leaving her on the edge of anticipation, wondering what unseen presence may reveal itself in the spectral stillness of the room. The supernatural occurrences escalate, transforming the room into a nightmarish realm. Debbie's desperate attempts to escape the growing horror are met with eerie resistance. The windows, once potential exits, mock her efforts by refusing to budge. Even the desperate act of hurling a book at them proves utterly futile, as the glass remains unyielding. The bedroom door, a threshold between safety and the unknown, swings open and shut violently, a malevolent dance orchestrated by forces unseen. Each swing reverberates with an unsettling force, accompanied by unearthly screams that pierce through the very fabric of reality. Shattering glass adds a cacophony of discordant notes to the nightmarish symphony, intensifying the feeling of being trapped in a surreal nightmare. Terrified, Debbie's wide eyes witness a scene of unimaginable horror beyond the confines of the room. Outside the window, in the moonlit darkness, hangs a grotesque tableau: Troy and David, once vibrant and alive, now lifeless and suspended from a gnarled tree. The moon casts an eerie glow upon their lifeless forms, and a cold wind whispers through the branches, carrying the weight of their tragic demise. Paralyzed with fear, Debbie is rendered speechless as the room itself seems to warp and distort. Shadows dance in macabre patterns, and the air thickens with an otherworldly energy. In the midst of her terror, now paralyzed with fear, witnesses the ghosts of Troy and David appearing before her. Debbie reacts with a small scream, then covers her mouth, heart leaping out of her chest. She raises a trembling hand toward her tear-streaked face. Transparent and haunting, their presence signals an otherworldly encounter. The room becomes a canvas for the supernatural as the apparitions draw closer. Darkness envelopes the space, swallowing the flickering light and plunging Debbie into an abyss of uncertainty. The ghosts, bearing the weight of unfinished business and tragedy, exude an unsettling presence that permeates the room, freezing Debbie in a moment of horrified fascination. As the specters inch closer, their eyes, windows to a realm beyond, fixate on Debbie with an otherworldly intensity. The air becomes charged with a palpable sense of doom, and Debbie can feel the weight of their sorrow and anguish pressing upon her. The room, now a nexus between the living and the dead, pulses with an otherworldly energy, leaving Debbie paralyzed in the grip of a supernatural encounter that defies all reason and comprehension. The old house stands behind police tape, a silent witness to the tragedy that unfolded within its walls. EMTs, their expressions somber, carefully wheel Debbie's lifeless body out on a stretcher, concealed in a black body bag. The air is heavy with a sense of finality as they load her into the waiting ambulance. Below the oak tree, the site of the grim events, the bodies of Troy and David have been removed, leaving an emptiness that echoes their tragic fate. The ghosts of Troy and David linger, trapped between worlds, their expressions filled with regret as they stare solemnly at the branch from which their bodies once hung. As the ambulance departs, carrying Debbie's earthly vessel away, her ghost materializes, joining the spectral figures of Troy and David. Together, they watch the vehicle disappear down the road, the weight of the realization settling upon them that Debbie's spirit is now trapped in a realm beyond. In a poignant moment, Debbie's ghost turns, casting a glance behind them. The field, once a serene backdrop, is now populated by dozens of children's ghosts, some wearing clothing reminiscent of the 30s. Their haunted faces bear witness to the tragedies of ages past, and their collective gaze fixates on Debbie. Overwhelmed by the haunting presence of these children's spirits, Debbie turns away, unable to bear the weight of their collective sorrow. She directs her gaze back at the retreating ambulance, disappearing from view as it carries her lifeless form to an uncertain destination. The scene unfolds as a tapestry of lingering spirits and unresolved stories, each ghost representing a chapter in the dark history of the old house.